Hey everybody, this is Michael with Asymmetrical Preparedness. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Hope you are continuing to prep a little every day. And I thank you for being here. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. So I've talked about finding water sources, encourage you guys to find other water sources. Some viewers brought up, well, how? How do you find other water sources? And that's a good question. I find myself sometimes not covering the how as much because my primary idea, I guess, is to give you guys the ideas. You guys need to do the work. You guys need to do some of the work. But every now and then, yeah, I should do a how-to video. Working on being, on my homestead, stuff like that. Then I'll be showing all kinds of how-to as I'm doing it. A little more limited right now, but how-to. So how to find water. How to find sources of water. There's a lot of different ways. Yeah, it came from questions from viewers. So water's vital, right? So we got to find some sources. Okay, but how do I find water? Well, one of the best ways to start finding water is drive around your area. Know your area. Don't just, tunnel vision down the road or walking on your cell phone, stuff like that. Keep your eyes open, head on a swivel like I talk about. Notice things like, okay, I just drove over a bridge. Well, why did I drive over a bridge? Why is there a bridge there? Is there a creek underneath? Is there a river underneath? Is there some body of water underneath? Or is it just a gully or a crevice or something like that? Whatever it is. A lot of people, we go about our daily lives. We're in a groove. You drive halfway to work and you're like, don't even remember driving to work. You're on autopilot. So get out of autopilot. Turn autopilot off. Turn self-awareness off, or on, I'm sorry. Pay attention to your surroundings. That's the best way to go about locating water. Another one is, obviously, Google Earth, Google Maps, or paper maps. Look at them. They show bodies of water. They show where the rivers are, the streams are, the ponds, stuff like that. Another thing that does that, Google Earth or Maps or something like that, Bing Maps, whatever it may be, satellite imagery. If you go to the satellite version of that, you can see the trees and stuff like that. Well, you can also see people's backyards, pools, right? You can see holding tanks. You can see water towers, all these kind of things. So pay attention to what's around you. Like I said, look at maps of your AO, your area of operations. Identify all these things, all the sources of water. Use Google Earth, Google Maps, satellite footage, pools, water towers, aqueducts, as well as really green sections of area. Where I'm at, everything's green, so that's because water's everywhere. But if you're in an more arid area and there's a lot of green plants in a certain area, well, there's probably water there. You may be able to dig a shallow well, an expedient well, hand dig a well, maybe. It all depends on your area. Also, finding water in the desert is a lot different. And I'm not, I don't live in there. I don't prep for that. Do have experience in arid environments in the military, but I wasn't necessarily trying to dig a well or find sources of water. I did have to sometimes, but yeah, anyway. Identify terrain such as draws, valleys, ravines. That's where water flows when it flows. So there may be water there. There may be sources of water along there. It may be seasonal or maybe year-round. It's good to know where seasonal water is, but year-round water is more important, right? Talk to your neighbors, learn who has wells, city aquifers, like the big holding ponds, lakes, whatever you want to call it, where the city holds their water, or water towers. There's a lot of different sources. Yeah, valleys, depressions, and terrain, combined with mountains and hills, you get runoff and everything. Scout areas that show signs of water in different times of the year. So drive around and look at what your area is like in different seasons. We're in winter right now, so that creek that you drove over and you're like, oh, hey, because now you're aware, you're like, oh, there's a creek. Maybe pull over and take a look at it. Does it look like a year-round creek? Well, then what about when summer rolls around? Stop there also. See what the water level's like. These are all sources of water. Water is vital. You can also divine for water. There's other, electronic methods and stuff like that people can use to find water, but that's more like wells. There's a lot of sources of water around. If you're in a city, office buildings have water coolers, right? There's always water around. There's always water to be had, to be found. Those big concrete things, I don't know, I need to look up the proper name for these things. If you know the proper name, throw it in the comments. I'm talking about those big, you know, they're concrete, they have sides on them and the big flat bottom, go around cities and stuff like that, bridges go over them. They always show them in movies when they're dry and people are driving along and car chases and high-speed chases and stuff like that. Those kind of things. As well as storm runoff, storm drains. That may be a source of water. There's a lot of different sources of water. Predominantly just use your brain, look at satellite footage, look at maps, and drive around your area and talk to people. See what they have to say. See if they know anything. If you know any preppers in your area, definitely work together, work as a team. So this is just, you know, a video with some ideas of how to find water. There are other ways to find water, but I just wanted to throw some ideas out there, get you guys thinking along those lines, and help you out a little bit, give you some ideas. So thank you for the questions and the comments about you should do a video about how to find water, stuff like that. So thank you. Thank you guys for your help in the algorithm. It's a constant fight. You guys know that. I love you guys, really, honestly, and I thank you for being here. You guys are truly a blessing. You guys are why I do this. So thank you very much. Prep a little every day. Make sure you're doing that. Make sure you work on your fitness as well as drinking all this good water you're finding. I love you guys, and blessings to you and yours.